I'm new to non-duality. My question is, why is it when I am not seeking, just being, doing nothing, not trying to meditate, not trying to do anything, is that I suffer this base state of emotional pain that it feels like never leaves me? Is that just unprocessed trauma or something? I don't know. Distracting myself doesn't even work anymore. I just sit and sink into everything. Sometimes pleasurable states arise, but it's just this endless agony in my heart that doesn't shift. Hi, Cathal. Thank you for your question. So when you're attached to the person, there is always a sense of unrest. So when that collapses, there is always this deep, deep sense of contentment underneath everything. And then on top of that, you've got the personality that's trained. And when the personality has been has been seeking a lot, the chakras in the body begin to close. So for an example, your heart chakra, because like say if you're 30 years old, you might have spent 30 years telling yourself, I'm not lovable, I'm not lovable. You might not be conscious of that. It's not necessarily trauma, but it's a story that you either gained from past lives, your genetic predisposition, if you prefer, or from your parents or from your social conditioning. That I'm not lovable. I'm not good enough to be loved. That would be a very typical contracting story in the heart. And you might not be conscious of that. And so what it would do is it would create a seeker that's constantly looking for approval. And when it gets approval, it's really high pleasure. It's fantastic. I am lovable. Buh, 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 buh. But it doesn't know that that's the story you're in. It just achieves something. It gets a Nobel Peace Prize. And it's like, yes, yes. It wins a board game. And it's like, I am lovable. But it doesn't say that, you know, to the person that's, you know, what's important. So when you keep validating that story, then the energy in the heart chakra contracts and holds into a negative position. And then what often happens is that most people cut off from their body and they just live in the head in their stories. So when you begin to get into this subject, you begin to become more conscious of these dynamics, and you begin to seek for less pleasure. And then there can be this period of depression, like sinking into depression, because you're no longer getting relief from pleasure, but your chakras are all still tight and feel unloved and feel not good enough. Yeah. So I recommend working with someone. I used to do sessions, but you can't get a session with me anymore. So work with someone to get to the bottom of what's going on in you and the stories you're telling yourself. And, you know, do exercises to shift the energy in the body. And then keep listening to non-duality, and non-duality presents itself when it's ready. Like, you're not going to fix the person and you are going to become enlightened. Enlightenment is what you are. You can't become enlightened. That will happen when it happens. But you can seemingly work on the person, even though it's a narrative and a story. It's not really true. There's not really a you that can, but there can be these habits and conditions that do particular things. And that might be to relax the body-mind. You know, you can go on my website and there's loads of, on the reference page, there's loads of exercises that you can do, like Wim Hof. I'm not sure if it's on there actually. Breathing exercises. You can also do, you know, I'll show breathing meditations, pranayama breathing, I think I say that right, pranayama breathing, yoga. There's female and male teachers on there. We can do one-to-one sessions and they'll all have different ways in which they work with you. So on the human level, you can just keep working on the self, but then knowing and hearing non-duality, that there isn't a you there that's going to become free. When I say work on the self, I'm saying work on the body-mind mechanism to relax it. But there isn't actually an entity in there that is becoming more free. It's just the body-mind has particular momentums. particular ways of being, and so you just iron them out. But the true freedom isn't in that. The true freedom is in what you are, the perceiver that's right here, right now. That is free. You are free. I hope that helps, Cathal. Thank you for your question.